Hi Govanen, and welcome back to another Era Quinn Caledrim Monster Mash battle. We are, by request of the viewers, thanks guys for caring and watching, we are going to put the three trolls up against the Balrog. Believe it or not, this is almost an even points match, the 350 point Balrog to the 380 point three trolls. So we're going to have some fun with this and just see what happens here. Ronan's good to go. He's hoping to give me a pounding this time. We've got a little collection of dice on the go here. You've seen all these dice in our previous videos. You've seen these models. You've seen their profiles. We'll give you a quick review before we jump into the match. And then just to remind you, this Monster Mash series that we've been doing, what we've been doing is taking all of the monsters with might, only the hero monsters, with might, will, and or fate. And we've been pitting them up against each other in a randomly drawn round robin, where we've got a list of all 16 of them. It works out well that there are 16. Excluding Sauron and Smaug, because. And we've been putting these 16 of these guys up against each other. We've finished round 1 randomly drawn. We're getting ready for round 2. We're taking a short break here to have some fun because somebody had a great idea, so we're going to try it. And what you see here is my Ice Balrog, which we're proud of. We had a lot of fun painting up this guy and themed him up for ice just to be different. One of these days I'm going to rebase him. We've got here Tom, Bill, and Bert. So here's Bill. We'll take a big look at his profile in a moment. We've got a couple of fun things on these bases. We talked about them more in depth in previous videos, so we won't go into full depth this time. But he's got a Hobbit in a bag on his base, and he's got somebody that has been minced fine, some horse legs in his little bucket, and he's got his magic purse because he can't be trapped. So little things that we've modeled on there just to give ourselves reminders of the rules. Here's Bill. I got him right. Hang on.
That's Bert.
That's Bill. This is Bert. Bert the Sneezer. So he's got some Nurgle rot on his face and his bib there because he sneezes all over everything. And he has also begged somebody to keep him for later. And here's Tom. And he's got some jelly jars to squash things to jelly. And little reminders that we've tried to put on these models to make it easier for us to know what's going on. Here we have some fancy dice that we picked up from one of the members of the GBHL. This is from Chessex, pattern Scarab Scarlet. We love this pattern. It's got some gold and red hues all through it, and we've got a dragon on there. Balrog is kind of a dragon, sort of, not really, but we'll use dragon dice for the Balrog today. And because Bert sneezes and he's disgusting, we gave him rot dice. Because Bill is nasty, we gave him skulls dice. This is the Games Workshop Plague Marine dice. Actually, they sell these under a couple of different names. It used to be Nurgle Rot dice, and then it was Plague Marines. But either way, they're cool dice, and they're squishy and gross. There's rubber on the inside there. You can squish it, and they are fun. These we found on Amazon actually, and there's just little skulls in there, and it's kind of a black, bony, stony dye color. It's sort of fun. And then these guys, gorgeous work here from Stephen Crow. This is another Chessex pattern. I keep forgetting which pattern this is. And he's got a Witch King face on there. That is Scarab Jade. So we've got 2 die sets here from the Scarab series from Chessex. The Witch King ones and the Dragon ones. But we'll be throwing those dice today. There's the models. Ronan, let's go through the rules quick.
Alright, so we're going to kind of skim through these, not going to go into a whole lot of depth.
Because we've seen these in the previous videos, and we can refer you back to those in the notes.
Stat line, Bill, the big guy, fight 7, strength 7, defense 7, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 4, 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate. He's the only one of the trolls to have 3 might, so that is something big in his favor. Magic purse means he can never be trapped.
Which doesn't really matter when you're only fighting one opponent anyway.
Yep.
But
terror, and then throw stones on a 5+ shoot value. He's not likely going to be throwing stones, but if he decides to, keep them for later, won't come into play. Mince and Fine probably won't come into play, but we'll see.
Much lower strength than the Balrog, so probably not. But just quickly, Mince and Fine, he could choose to put his strength against his opponent's strength and then roll a d6 and add their strength and do the difference in wounds. So he's going to start at a -2 against a strength 9 Balrog, so we're not going to see him do that in this round. But if you put him against a strength 3 or a strength 2 model, if he rolls poorly, he can still do a whole pile of wounds. So.
Oh yeah.
Interesting for another time, campfire. We thought about doing the campfire and decided they've already got a point advantage over the Balrog, and the campfire doesn't really change anything, so we're not doing the campfire. But it would give them the +1 courage, which would be huge.
It would definitely help on the terror.
Yeah, so all these guys are courage 4. And they've only got a little bit of will to spend to fix that. So on a terrifying Balrog, we'll see if that comes into play. But that's their courage. Campfire would make it +1. It would also mean they could lie things down and put them on fire beside the fire, but you're not going to put a Balrog on fire. So, Balrogs are immune to fire. We'll see that in a moment. So, no campfire in this match. How about Bert?
Bert, he is the weakest relatively of the trolls. Fight 6, strength 6, defense 6, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 3, 1 might, 3 will, 1 fate. Terror and throw stones. Throw stones on a 5+ shoot value yet again. Keep them for later. Again, won't come into play. Roast them slowly. Another brutal power attack that won't come into play. This is how he sets people on fire using the campfire. Lingering cold. He can spend a will point every fight phase to half the fight value of one model he is fighting. Which,
major great deal.
considering that he's fighting one fight 10 model, is rather important. Although his courage will probably hurt him a lot in this match.
Yeah, interesting too that he does that during the fight phase. It's not a heroic. So if somebody calls a heroic strike and then he waits to the fight phase to sneeze on them, their heroic strike will be halved no matter what they... Yeah, even if they got up to fight 10, they'd still go down to fight 5 tops. So this is a big advantage for Bert. But that courage 3 is going to limit his ability to use it. So we'll see how that comes into play.
And then the most boring of the 3. This is Tom. Again, fight 7, strength 7, defense 7, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 4, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate. Terror, throw stones on a 5+ shoot value. Keep them for later, won't come into play, and squash him into jelly. His big thing won't come into play either. So, that's pretty much it for
heroics. Tom has heroic defense. Heroic defense, just a quick reminder, you have to roll natural 6s to actually wound him if he calls a heroic defense.
Yep.
Bert has heroic defense and heroic strength. Bill has heroic strength and heroic strike.
So whenever Bert runs out of will, he can still heroic strike.
That's right. All right, so there are the 3 trolls. Let's take a look at the Balrog. Fun little collection of books that we've got here.
And he's a whole page to himself.
He is. And this is the way the Balrog is supposed to look. My Ice Balrog is my own preference. Big nasty hero of legend, big nasty stat line. Ronan, why don't you walk us through this?
Still 6-inch move tier. Fight 10, strength 9, defense 9, 4 attacks, 10 wounds, courage 7. So that right there is almost worth the point tag. No might still, 10 will, no fate. The giant flaming sword and the fiery lash. The fiery lash is an 8-inch throwing weapon, hitting on a 3+, with a strength of 7, and if it doesn't kill you, it'll drag you into base contact, which is actually very handy. It doesn't come into play as often as one might think, but I've pulled some fun plays with that before.
Well, and that one, especially when he's up against infantry, that combines with some of his other special rules, and that makes a big difference. So special rules here. Ancient Evil, Fearless, Resistant to Magic, Terror. Terror is the easiest one. All the monsters cause terror. Resistant to Magic won't come into play this time, but it means he gets a free die to resist when people try to cast on him. Fearless means he doesn't really use his courage check for much. Ancient Evil means everybody gets a -1 courage around him, which is a big deal against the 3 trolls. So the 3 trolls will effectively be courage 3 and courage 2 when they're trying to charge this Balrog.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does.
Goblin Mastery.
Affects the goblins, but no goblins on the board right now.
Flame of Udin. He's never considered unarmed if you get one of those cheeky Gundabad Black Shield Shamans running around. And a model that suffers a wound from the Balrog strikes, even if it's saved by fate, and is not killed for whatever reason, has to roll dice. And on a roll of 6, they are set ablaze and take a strength 9 hit, and then the strength 5 hit after every other turn, unless they stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, the set ablaze rolls pretty wild. And the Demon of the Ancient World.
This was the big change that made the Balrog actually worth its price tag in the new rules.
That and the throwing weapon from the lash.
Well,
so you combine the lash with this, he can pull somebody into himself and then get free heroic combats.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy.
It's
for
nuts.
a model that doesn't have any might and is fight 10, he doesn't really have a whole lot of use for might, I guess, but well, affecting die rolls would be nice. But yeah, here he goes. He can munch his way through infantry fast there. But in this case, he's got 3 trolls to deal with. So let's get started rolling some dice here. I'm going to be the Balrog, and Ronan's going to try to give me a pounding. We'll see how this goes.
We'll see.
Unless you want to be the Balrog. Should we roll for it? I got to hold the camera. I'm going to keep my hand free as much as I can. All right.
Yeah.
Fewer dice for me. So we should back up, start these guys, put 12 inches apart.
Pre-measured.
Because Ronan's smart like that. Good job, guy. Priority
That's you.
goes to me. I'm going to move 6 inches forward. And I'm going to fiery lash somebody who can't sneeze on me. How about Tom?
Fiery Lash actually
Has to do in that shoot phase, doesn't it?
It's either in the shoot phase or when you charge.
Which I can't charge. So forget it. I can't icy lash either. No lashing.
We're going to have some terror tests.
All right,
we're
let's
going to
see.
do Bert first because he's kind of the important one.
Yep, because if
Give
he
me
can
dice.
sneeze, that makes a big difference.
8.
And he is in.
So that's 1.
Good job, Sneezer. They
One.
cannot trap the Balrog this turn. They're going to
We'll
sure
go
want to do
with-
that as soon as they can.
Bill?
Big Bill fails. No, that's a cocked die.
It has to be a 6.
It's not a 6. And Bill doesn't, he has 1 will to spend to make that work, so that's not going
And
to work
then
this time.
Tom.
And Tom fails. By a long shot, actually. Are you
He
stuck?
will and might it.
Will and might it.
He is not leaving Bert alone in that fight.
Well, Bert can sneeze, so he'll be okay for
No,
one.
he will not be okay.
That's true enough. He needs to roll well, too. He's only got 3 dice to roll.
All right. That's
So the
first round.
Balrog is not going to fiery lash anybody. We are into combats.
Bert's going to spend a will to sneeze.
Which means Bert puts his boogers all in that Balrog's face. Somehow that walking ball of flame does not burn the booger off. But we're okay. Balrog, 4 dice. So 3 each for the trolls. We've got
Yep.
6 of dice over there.
And
You
Bert
need something
will
better than me.
actually faint.
Bert is going to
Because
faint.
in the new rules, if you have higher fight value, you're allowed to faint. And he does have a little dagger in his hand in there for whatever reason. Bert is the Nurgle Rot. There we go.
Balrog rolls poorly anyway, so you win. You've got 6 dice to try to put wounds.
All right.
Needing 5s, right? You're strength 6, both of them?
No, he is strength 7, he is strength 6. So he actually will still need 6s.
Okay. You want to
But-
roll your 5s first?
Sure. 5s. There's 1.
There's 1 wound.
And then Bert, 6s.
Re-rolling 1s.
That wish
There's
that
a
was
1.
the other way around. Come on.
2 5s, 2. Oh. Does he have a might to turn one of those into a wound?
He does, but he's not going to do it.
Balrog backed off an inch.
That was a bad turn.
Well, let's see. You got 1 wound on the Balrog. Priority. Balrog gets priority.
Well, you...
Balrog is going to charge Tom, and he's going to fiery lash on the way in.
Yep.
And he's fearless, so he does not take a courage check. Alright, so here's the fiery lash. What do I need to hit?
3.
That's a 6, that'll do it. So now I need strength 7, d7, I need a 4 to wound.
Yes.
Oh dear. Now you got to roll to see if you got lit on fire.
That is in the... That's in combat. That's not
That's in the
conjunction
combat.
with the-
Oh, not for me. Alright, so courage checks, here we go.
This is the important one.
Sneezer is
Did
in.
it? Yes.
That's that magic 8. We'll just run him around.
And yeah, he'll make it all the way around. And then, no, this is actually...
Can you
a big
trap the
one.
Balrog?
Come on, Bill! There we
7.
go.
He's
That's
in.
what he needed.
Balrog is trapped.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just hook him in there somewhere.
Might actually do this.
Bill's going to swing backwards through the wing.
We might actually
his
do
club.
this.
Alright, my magic
Sneezing.
4 dice against your sneezing. Okay, so boogers in the Balrog's face again. We've got 1 will left on Bert. Can you do it this turn?
Bert, Bill, Tom.
Just get a 6 anywhere in there.
There it is.
There's my 6. So you did actually need the 6. You got your 6, which means all of those strikes are doubled.
We'll do...
Everybody backs off 1 inch, because if you trap somebody, you're the one who backs away.
We're going to do...
Even if you win.
Tom first. Looking for 5s.
There's 1 wound and all that. Did he faint?
No, Tom can't faint.
Tom can't faint. So he got
That's
1 wound.
Tom.
And you can might
will
that
save
4 into a
that.
5 if he needs to.
I'll
But
save that for now.
he has to call... if I had fate, he would have to decide what he's doing here before I used fate. The Balrog doesn't have any fate, so it doesn't matter. So we'll take the 1 wound. Balrog has 2 wounds total now. That might be 3. He doesn't have to decide if he's going to might that just yet, but he does have to decide before anything goes to me.
And
So
Bert
who's rolling now? Bert?
needing 6s. Rerolling 1s.
There's 1 6.
There's 1 6 and no 1s.
That 5 is mightable.
That is mightable. So that's Bert. And I'm actually short 1 dice. I'm just going to steal one of your dragons.
Yeah, go for it.
And looking for 5s with Bill. I'd love some 5s in here.
There's a 6. Bill can might that. So
we're
that would be
gonna-
6 wounds if you burn some might.
We'll go with might on
Do
Tom.
it. Do
might
it.
on Bert,
Absolutely.
and might on Bill.
Which means that Balrog has taken 6 wounds this round, 7 wounds total. And the Balrog hasn't killed anybody yet. This Balrog is actually taking a beating.
Down to 3 wounds. This is getting doable.
The 3 trolls are beating the living fire with snot. That's hilarious. Alright, priority, here we go. Balrog wins priority again. Balrog is going to eat Tom.
Obviously not Bert.
Alright, let's see if the Balrog can hit anything with his fiery lash, icy lash, whatever.
Hit.
Fails.
That's a hit.
That is a hit. 3 up hit. Okay, so strength 7 hit.
That's a wound.
Does a wound.
And Tom will just take it like that.
So Tom takes a wound from a flaming ice whip. We're using our imagination. It's all good. It's a pretend game.
It is a pretend game.
So
now we've got some.
So Tom's in trouble.
We've got some rather important courage tests now. Oh, big old Bert. Come on, Bert. No!
Fails like a failure.
He's not going
Like a
in this
bomb.
turn.
Just goes down. So no Bert, no Sneezer. So Tom is afraid.
Here comes Bill.
Shaken in his little booties.
And Bill is in.
Bill is in. So Tom's not alone, but he's still afraid.
Yeah, we'll do
Right.
that.
Fear
Yeah,
for your
we'll see.
life, little troll. All right, here we go.
Bill will...
Is he gonna heroic strike?
He will call a heroic strike.
Try to at least tie the fight up.
Yep.
He's got, what, 1 might left after
He's
that?
got 1 might left.
All right, so what's your fight value up to?
Up
Have to
10.
fight 10, so we are tied for fight. Let's see what happens. My 4
Bill
dice to
is
your
the
6.
skull. There are some 6s.
I got a 6, so it is tied. I had priority, so let's just roll off. Rules say, strictly speaking, the rules say the person with priority rolls. The person who is more evil will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 would go to more good. Clearly, the demon of the ancient world would be more evil, but we'll just do a roll off. It's more gentlemanly. You win. Look at that. Sheesh. Tom can breathe easy for now.
Tom
Dun dun dun.
needing 5s.
Balrog backs away 1 inch. Tom gets 1
One.
wound. This Balrog has 2 wounds left. Tom, if he could have fainted, wowzers. Alright, 3 dice.
Bill needing 5s.
Needing 2 wounds with these 5s.
No!
Look at that.
Oh,
fluff.
man.
Bill, apparently, is the one who was afraid.
Oh, man.
Nothing. So the
Balrog
Balrog
has
has 2 wounds left.
2 wounds left.
Priority. Balrog has only dealt... Oh, wait a minute. Did Tom get lit on fire?
That was with the whip.
That was with the whip.
That was with the whip.
Does the fire... Well, let's figure this out quick. Does the fire rule apply just to wounds dealt by hand, or does the whip cover it too?
Any model that suffers a wound from the Balrog's strikes. That would imply in combat.
We don't have a tournament organizer to ask. We'll take it that way. That's our interpretation. That means combat. All right, so priority goes to the Balrog. Balrog is going to do the same exciting thing that he did last time. Fearless charge into Tom, the poor troll that he is. Whips him on the way in, gets him. Do we do a wound, needing a 4? What is this? Okay. Tom
Alright.
has 1 wound on him. The Balrog has 7 or 8?
2. Oh, how many wounds
two
he's
left.
taken?
Yeah,
he's got
he's
2
got
left.
two left.
He's taken 8.
All right. Prior courage checks.
For
Sneezer.
Bert
Mr. Boogerface fails, that coward.
and Bill. Yes.
Bill's in.
Bill's in.
Bill's a big boy. He can handle himself. All right, Bill has no might left?
Final might to call a heroic strike.
Final might.
No
Bill
might
is
left
out
on the
of
table.
might. All right, heroic strike. Let's see what he gets up to.
There we
Does it. Fight 10. We're tied for fight.
No might on the table.
My 4 dice to your 6 dice.
I get a 6.
4 high. Wait a minute. Yep. Balrog fluffs. Tom's happy.
Looking for 5s.
Back the Balrog off an inch.
We're gonna try. We'll do Tom first.
You have no might. There's 1 wound.
Should I mince him fine?
Okay, that would be funny. Hang on for a minute and figure that out.
Oh,
You can't
boy.
mince him fine. Oh, wait a minute. You have to decide right now.
I'd get -2.
You need 1 wound.
I'm just gonna strike him.
Yeah, you should just strike him. Needing a...
What?
Oh!
Oh, man.
Oh!
This is ridiculous.
See, you're stressed. Your stress is affecting your dice karma.
Twice in a row.
Priority, here we go. Balrog does not get priority.
I win priority this time. We'll try Bert. No.
That's a 6. You need... Man, and if you spend your will to get it... Can you spend a might to get in?
No, he's got no might. They're all
Sneezer,
in a might.
you're not doing your job very good there, Sneezer.
Well, his courage was going to hurt him from the beginning.
Yeah,
Tom.
we knew that.
Dice gone.
Rolled a 2. That's 7. Plus
He
his
is
3.
courage.
He is in.
And then Bill. 9.
And so Bill's in. Alright, so if we look really closely here, there's an inch between the Balrog and somebody who does have a control zone who is unengaged. So the Balrog is actually trapped this time. Last time he wasn't. And we haven't been very careful about that. If we'd been more careful, you would have had double strikes on me. I just didn't say anything.
Well, it is.
But this time you can't get out. So you are in fact trapping me. Alright, so you have no might. I'm higher fight. We'll see if I can do better than fluff my roll this time. Your 6 dice to my 4. Will Balrog kill one of these trolls before? Look at this. I got a 4 high again. I'm gonna fire these dragons and get some different dragons.
That's like what I was rolling back in round robin match 1 against a blasted troll chieftain.
Who lasted 4 turns against the Balrog.
was
Alright, so the
5
Balrog
turns.
is actually trapped. He can't back up.
So
He can, but not into someone's control zone, so he's actually stuck. So you get double strikes, you need 1 wound out of all this garbage that you're gonna throw at me.
here's Bill.
Do you get a 6
He
in there
got
somewhere?
1.
6. So
Bill.
Bill, with his little piece of wood, clubs the ice Balrog in the face, and the Balrog dies.
Bill is so sad though. Look at this. He fluffed all his other dice.
Wow. Well, what did Tom do? Does Tom have his back here?
Tom's still
Tom's
doing
got
his
his
job.
back. Tom's got 4 wounds this time, finally. Nice job, Tom.
He MVP.
Alright, so little Tom boy here does his job. Sneezer burns his snot up and then stands there like a coward. But that was a fun match. Balrog is not victorious. Poor Balrog. It's a
This
tough life.
was a matchup he was going to actually struggle with.
Well, courage was the thing that he was going to benefit from.
Yeah,
here.
definitely. Bert not getting in definitely helped, but the ridiculous amount of might that the trolls have combined with the ability to trap just...
Because there's 3 of them, making a trap is a big deal. And the fact that they're strong enough they can actually put wounds on something that's defense 9, that really matters. Alright, thanks for watching. We will be back with another round of Monster Mash, randomly selected monsters. We're going to go through a round 2 and then use round 2 with round 1. We'll combine the results and then rank them and do an elimination tournament after that. And we've got some special surprises hidden for you along the way. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, or subscribe, or all of that. And we will look forward to talking to you again soon.